Hello and welcome. My name is Sharon and this is Trio.of.Witches Tarot. And this, I believe, is installment 6 of all my decks A to Z. And I know this is taking me a while, but I'm trying to keep the video short. And this is going to be all my L decks. So here we go. Okay, so this is the Lily White and the Lily Black. And I have the little extra guidebook that you can get for it. One side is French and one side is English. And in the guidebook, the way it's done, very clever. So we have the image of the white and the black, and then a lot of information on it. Some of it's funny, that way it's translated. And there's one card that actually isn't translated and is still in French. Oh, I just saw it. Yeah, right there. The Fool. Funny. And then the way it's organized for the minors is also clever. So you have each card. So you have your ace of each suit, and then you have your white and your black. And then it's divided up by suit. So that's the little guidebook. It's very nice. And I thought I'd kind of do a little flip through side by side of these guys. So they come in the same box with the little ribbon in them. I saw Sylvain from Sylvain's Deadly Sins going a little rant about these from an older video that I just caught up on. Not sure why he hates the ribbons. Like them. They both come with the little cards with English and French and little keywords for the meanings. And the black is edged in black, comes that way. And the white was just white, and I edged it in gold, and it was like one of my first attempts at edging. I don't love the way it came out. Might end up getting another copy of it. Makes it look old, a little bit dirty. Don't know what I think I'm going to do about that. And the cardstock is a little bit different. So the black is a little thicker, a little less bendy, and it's ever so slightly more sticky. These glide, the white glides a little better than the black does. So yeah, an interesting effect is that on the white, where it has this watercolor appearance, on the black it's chalk-like or pastel-like, even though the images are essentially the same. You can see it's much more bright on the white. Some of the ones in the black are a little bit hard to see. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. See if we can get to the So it's definitely a Pips with Feeling deck, both of them. And all of the quartz are these close-ups. So there you go, you see Pips with Feeling. The page has a little heart, and the knight is this like starburst or sunburst. And the queen has a little crown with 3 prongs on it, and the king has a crown with 4 prongs on it. And then the suit is indicated up there, like that's a little cup, and the swords has a little sword. I haven't figured out yet what's with the swords being very smoky. A very smoky effect on them, a lot of them. And then you have the Five of Swords, but then there's these like smudge sticks or something. I haven't quite figured out what that's about yet. Again, with the kind of smoky effect and the smudgy sticks down here. Really want to look into that. Don't know if that is somewhere explained. Okay. Lily White and Lily Black. And this is the lovely Om Tarot. So this comes in a bigger box, which is stored away somewhere. But it did come with this bag and this little book. And so I don't keep it in the bigger box. It's a really nice bag. It's got the satin lining. And it's a very nice book. It feels a little frothy to me. I haven't read through this guidebook yet, so I'm not sure if that was the intent. So this deck is based on your chakras. I think I'm saying that correctly. It's not an expert in that area. And so it talks a lot about the associations with your chakras and the suits. The court cards, etc. talks about gods in this deck and the symbol of Om and some spreads, and then gets into the cards. And those are the backs, and this is this reference. It's a little bit bigger. It's actually just a smidge shorter. The same. It's the same height as a regular tarot, but wider. And it's on thin and slippery cardstock. Not as thin and slippery as like the Four Hoxa, but it is thin and slippery. Did I put that? Yeah, I did. And I don't love the borders. I might trim this because it is bigger, so wouldn't hurt it to be trimmed. I don't love this color. It's sort of dusty purple that it is. But I love the colors in the cards, and I'm not sure that I think that having this border helps. Interesting take on the Chariot from far away like that. And the symbol of the Om on the back is so tiny, but it's set in this cosmos, which is kind of cool. I guess it gives it some perspective. And I don't love all the cards in this. Like, I don't love this devil. I think the face on it is weird. And there's a court card, I think, is also not my favorite. So it's sort of a mashup of RWS and Thoth, I feel like. A little bit more pippish on a lot of the and then some very different imagery on one of my favorite Ace of Cups. There is mermaids in it, but see, the faces are a little off for me. Like this, I guess they're gods, so the skin tone being different is okay. I like the way her dress looks like it's going into the water. We see now we have the Four of Cups. It's very pippish, and the Five of Cups and mermaid right there. So it goes its own way a little bit, takes here and there from different things. Very seasonally associated there. Very different. You see how the swords are associated with winter, which is how I associate them. So anyway, that is the lovely Om. And this is the Lost Forest Tarot. I think this is the second edition. I think that's what their 2 means. The backs are a little bit different, I think, than the first edition. This box comes with, instead of a guidebook, kind of a pamphlet sort of thing. just a little bit on each card. And the imagery in this is very different, and it does the minors create a panorama if you line them up, just like in the All the Visions by James R. Eads. And so it's sort of this walk through the land of the lost. Has mythical creatures, kitsune there, humans, and then I think there's like dinosaurs. Well, I don't think. There are dinosaur type creatures and dragons. And, well, I think that the panoramic quality of it is interesting. I don't know that I would ever do that. And I haven't. So maybe at some point. And then the suits are renamed oceans for water. Fire is fire, but oceans instead of water are cups. It's a very pretty deck. Very interesting. Different skies instead of swords or air. And it's not a stretch, not like in some decks where the brain power to remember what has been renamed to what. And then we still have the page, so the courts are the same. And the majors are the same, I believe. And then Earth. Oops. And the cardstock isn't my favorite. It's not my least favorite. I'm pretty sure I edged this in black. And then there's some, see, some of them are the mage. It's different, the mystic instead of, but again, they're not a stretch. But then there's some extra cards. That's what I'm looking for. It's Pretty Moon. World, and then you have the Ascended. So pretty. Love the colors in that. And the Faceless. And I will lay out a panorama so you can see it. Okay. So there you go. 5 cards fit in the frame very nicely. And I really like the cups suit. Okay, so that is the Lost Forest, which I'm sorry is OOP. And I think you can still get the majors only version of it. And this is the Light Visions Tarot. I have all of the Visions by James R. Ead. And this is more of a monochromatic version of the deck. Still the same as the Prisma Visions in imagery. Comes with the little white book, which is very good. I also have the bigger book, but it just has the images of the Cosma Visions and the Prisma Visions in it. And then it has an extra card, and it even talks about it in here, which is nice. So look at the box. And those are the backs. The cool eye there. And these are, I think all the decks are gilded differently. At least the versions that I have. And then these are the cards. So the majors are all have this kind of border on them, where the minors are borderless. And they're all, the names are the same, preserved. Imagery is different. It still is an RWS based deck. The imagery is just different on a lot of them. I find that for some of the cards, it's easier to see in Light Visions, and some of them it's harder to see than in Prisma Visions. And it is a little different because I thought there was a person on this. It was a little more close up in the Prisma. I don't know. I should do a side by side. It's an interesting tower. And the star. I love this star card. World. There's our extra card, Haven. They're borderless now. Some of it is hard to see. I don't know. I'm torn on these decks because I suits are the same. See, this one, I don't know. It feels blurry to me. So why don't I lay out one of the panoramas for you? Okay, so we have all the quick cards from the wands laid out in a panorama. Okay, so that's the light visions. Okay, and this is the Lovely Day Tarot, which I don't know if you can still get it. I pre-ordered it. I will provide links below if you can or cannot. I will at least provide links to the website. And I can't remember all the details. The woman is a tarot reader, been a tarot reader for a long time. She worked on this deck for a long time with her brother. I think her brother. Anyway, I saw it on Instagram and I really like it. Kind of feels like a cousin of Maraloon. And there are 2 extra cards in it. Well, not extra, but alternative. So you have an alternative devil and an alternative strength. Very Jesus-y there. Not for me, so I don't use those. It's very soft and gentle. And Justice is at 8. Like this strength a lot. And that Hanged One, so that is very interesting to me. It's the same guy from Hierophant. It's got a cross on. So there are, interestingly, or not so, it might be a turnoff for you, the sort of Christian, some Christian references there. It's Death. And that's the devil I chose. They're pretty much the same, just kind of different colors, I think. And there are like around 5 extra cards. Little happy squirrel in there. So this isn't one that I'm trying to think if I've seen anybody show this recently anyway. And I have not. I like it. I like that. A seahorse that's literally a horse. Granted, it's not for everyone, but no deck is for everyone. That's the beauty of tarot. There's something for everybody, and not everything is for everybody. It also has a PDF guidebook, and it's formatted like this, so I probably could have printed it on smaller paper, or done something differently, but I'm not. I do computers for work, and I don't like to be on computers any more than I have to be for anything else. I like to get away from computers when I'm not working. And this is Lunalapin, so this is the latest version of it. I've been waiting for the English guidebook, even though you could get a PDF in English. I wanted the guidebook in English. It comes with this bag, and it has 22 extra cards, oracle cards. Separate those out for now. So this is the English version of the guidebook. Yay! And it's not, it doesn't have a ton in it. But if there's going to be a guidebook, I don't want one in a foreign language that I can't use. It's just a waste. So that's that. And it is edged in this kind of holographic, it's like a pearlescent. So these are the extra cards, and they are explained in the guidebook. So it's a cute little additional oracle that you can use with this deck or with another deck. 22 cards is, it's not what I would consider a full oracle, but it's not too shabby either. It's not just 5. And those are the backs. You got the 3 hairs running there. Anyway, you've probably seen this deck a million times. It's very nice cardstock. It's flexible, has a core, feels a lot like the Lily White. And the colors are muted. It's not as vibrant as I usually go. But it also is very relaxing. It's a relaxing color scheme. It's cute little. And I do like animal decks. If you've been here, hello. I like mermaids. I like otters. I like seahorses. I like fairies. I like animals. So cute. And these bunnies are just adorable. It's very storybook, fairy tale quality to it. A little bit anthropomorphized, but not a lot. They're more doing human things than dressed up as humans. Cute. So that is the Lunalapin. This is the Lunar Eclipse Tarot. I believe this is the same artist, creator who does the Wandering Star stuff. Is that right? I could be wrong. Comes in a bag, no box, no guidebook. It is RWS based, so those are the edges. So pretty. It's a rose gold leaning heavily to the gold side. And those are the backs. And it is just a bit slippery for me, but you know, when you're fanning it, that's really nice. I like this soft pink. It is very modern. There's a lot of diversity in it. Of all types. Like that. Like that. Yes, I like, also, hello, I like faces on my suns and my moons. Some people don't. I do. And it's very pippish. Seven of Wands feels very much like an Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands, interesting. Hadn't noticed that before. Wonder if that was a mistake or intentional, and I don't know why, because there's no guidebook. Like all the teacups. But you know, he still pips with feelings there. Mermaid. But they do stay consistent throughout any given suit, the symbology that's being used in it, which is nice. Kind of, they're all mishmashed. One of the reasons I don't have the Meraki, well, one, I'm not into crystals, and two, it felt very kind of chaotic as far as the animals and the different suits. For me, it's very pretty, don't get me wrong, and I'm on a tangent. It's not about this deck. Love the flowers that are used here. I know what these are, and now I can't think of it. Some kind of a rose, is it? Just a rose? Or is it something else? Very pretty deck. It's RWS, but RWS with pips, with feelings. And this is the Lion's Gateway Tarot. This is the one with the pink backs. And it has a little white book. Just some keywords. You know, not a big deal. It's RWS based. Look at the back there. Let you read that. And it's gilded. I love these backs. It's the edition that I wanted. Let's see, is it regular tarot size? Pretty sure it is. I feel like it might be a little wider. It's regular tarot size. So it's gilded. And it's chipping a little bit. It's the kind that chips a little bit. It's not too sharp. And it's very folk art, simple style. And it's very nice cardstock. It's kind of like the lily white, maybe a little bit heavier. Got like a medieval-y vibe to it, to this folk art, and I very much like it. Hermit going the other direction. Not my favorite devil, not my least favorite devil. Nice star. Face on the moon and a face on the sun. It's more of a Marseille style sun. As you can see, it's RWS based, so you can read it if you know that system. Some of the imagery is a little bit different, but that's okay. You can still do it. It brings a different flavor to it. And if you read with directions, you know, it's interesting how people choose to have things go in different directions. Like that 3. But, you know, we're missing the other 2 people. So that is the Lion's Gateway Tarot. And the Elves wouldn't be complete without the Light Seers. Some people don't love this deck. I love it. I do not have the indie edition. This is the mass market edition. I've edged it in sort of this metallic green, mint green. And it has a very nice guidebook. And also has, I think, more out on her website, kind of a journaly thing. It's not really formatted for printing, though. Kind of weird. I haven't figured out what I want to do, if anything, with that. Those are the backs. And this is Hay House, so it's Hay House cardstock. It's not terrible. It's not my favorite. That's all I'm saying. It's also, it's still nice, though. I don't know. It has just the texture of it. It kind of feels cardboardy. There's a lot of geometry in this. I like the colors. I think it's RWS based, and the imagery is very relatable. And this is, for me, a really great deck to use for family relationship readings, not necessarily love readings, although I haven't done any love readings. I don't even know what that means necessarily. But to me, it just wants to talk about relationships and family, so that's what I use it for. You know, I let my decks talk about what they want to talk about, and I listen to them, and I don't try to make them talk about things they don't want to talk about. I like this deck a lot. I think there's a fair amount of diversity in it. I like the colors. There's some age in it somewhere. I love her so much. And there you go, the King of Pentacles. Okay, so that's Light Seers, and you've seen it a million times. Right, I am not going to butcher the French of this deck, but it means in English the Eye of the Soul. And it is by Charlotte Mew, I believe. And this one took me a while to get because it comes from Hong Kong, and pandemic shipping craziness. And this poor creator, I think I bugged her maybe more than monthly about it, even though she had no control over it. I wasn't, I don't think, a total jerk about it, but I was annoying, I'm sure, because I just really wanted it. And so it's edged in this matte gold, very nice. It is on very nice cardstock. A little bit heavier, but still flexible, has a nice core. It is an interesting deck in many ways. So the art style of the majors is very kind of cartoon-like, and then the minors, you have, I think, 2 extra cards per, and the art style is very different. So we're going to see that. This one reminds me a lot of the Lovely Ohm. I think it's the roses and just other stuff about it. So you can see that very cartoon-like quality of this, but there are some hints as to what we're going to see in the minors. I love this Sun Guard. It's the moon card. Let's find it. It's the moon. So phases, interesting world. And then the minors, the bodies are missing parts, very disconnected, and as you can see, very monotone, not at all colorful like the majors were until you get to the court cards. And then they are color coded, and you have a page and a witch and a knight, a queen and a king and a guardian. So you can choose to use them all or choose to use whichever combination you choose to use. Cups are blue and the quartz. It's a very unusual deck, but it's still RWS based, so you can still do it. And the swords are purple, or more of a sort of an orchid color. And then the pentacles are green. And get some majors, and there you go. Mermaid. Some cards out of order here. Okay, and it comes with this little pamphlet style guidebook. Explains about the court cards and has nice descriptions for each card, and then talks about the court cards. But then for the minors, you just get some keywords. They are RWS based, so you can use your knowledge of that or use an RWS guidebook, which there are millions of. And some spreads, and then Eye of the Soul Tarot. Okay, so those are all my L decks. It's not a lot for a single video, I guess, but the M's are way too many and are going to have to take up their own. So I'm just trying to figure out how to divide this up. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Remember to like and subscribe and click on the bell if you want to know when I have new videos. Take care of yourself and have a great day. Bye. Okay, so I've decided to do a giveaway for the length of all of my decks A to Z videos. So whenever I am done doing all of those videos, this giveaway will end. And it's for the Dreaming Way Tarot. It's a mass market deck, and you've probably seen this before. I'm not going to do a full flip through. It's a very nice deck. Just